everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Let's Talk Teens with Dr. Kela. This will be a three-part series where I will be discussing mental health as it relates to teenagers both in the United States and in Europe with Dina Mitrovoltsis of Beyond the Waves. Dina is a mental health coach and advocate for teenagers and young adults in Europe. She's joining us all the way from Belgium. So due to the time difference, this interview was pre-recorded. In part one, we'll be introduced to Dina and her work, and we'll be discussing what the main issues are that she encounters with the young people she serves. Enjoy. Everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Let's Talk Teens with Dr. Kela. Of course, I am your host, Dr. Kela, board-certified family practitioner, speaker, award-winning author of Nia and the Numbers Game, A Teenager's Guide, Education, Relationships, and Sex. Today is a special edition of Let's Talk Teens. We are joined all the way from Belgium by Dina Mitrovoltsis of Beyond the Waves. She is a mental health advocate for teens. Dina, welcome.
Hi, Dr. Kela. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I am overjoyed to have you here. So let's get right into it, okay?
Yes, okay, perfect.
So, Dina, tell me, how long have you been doing this work?
I started coaching almost 5 years, and I've been doing this work for about a year and a half now.
And what's the age group of the young people you work with?
The people that I counsel are between the 13 and 20 years old.
Okay, so you're working with both teenagers and young adults then?
Yes, I am.
And what's the gender ratio? Like how many girls versus boys?
Well, in general, the females have a harder time mentally because they feel more pressure because they set the bar high for themselves. Because you also have the social media, because they compare each other. So they see these pictures of other girls and they think the others are better or prettier. So they think less of themselves and it pulls them down. And that's something with the girls. And I also noticed that the females seek help more quickly than males. But it's not that the males don't need it, but they're more reserved. And sometimes it takes a bit longer before they take the first step. So I think it's like 70% female and 30% male.
Okay. What are you finding is the biggest issue with teens?
Well, a major cause of many problems is the enormous pressure in our society. There is so much stress and they're so confused about the future. So they have to run from one thing to another, and they have so little time to really stand still and to connect with others or themselves or even with life. And this is while they're fully experienced of searching for their own identity. So it's too much.
What kind of practices do you recommend when you're working with these teens who have mental health issues and suicidal thoughts?
Well, many teens are ashamed to speak of it, but it's by keeping it to themselves that make them suffer more. So actually they have to really tell their story because that's a huge relief. And you have to let them know that you understand them and that they're not alone. So you can search for solutions together. And even the small steps can do wonders sometimes. So you have to search things that positive things, each day to do something positive, at least one thing, and that they can make them smile, even if just for 1 second. And in the beginning, that's good. That's the first step. So you have to do things that distract them, that make them think less, because that's a big problem. They think and they're overthinking everything. So they have to get into the nature and play sports, go walking, doing things like that.